Have you ever looked at someone's amazing Pokemon card collection and wondered how did they build that without spending a fortune? The secret might be simpler than you think, and it's trading. As a Pokemon card collector who spent quite a bit amount of hours trading cards lately with other enthusiasts, I've discovered that trading is not just a fun way to interact with the community, but also one of the smartest ways to build your collection. In this complete beginner's guide, I'll show you exactly how to trade Pokemon cards effectively, avoid getting ripped off, and use trading to build an impressive collection without breaking the bank. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up your collection, these strategies will help you make smarter trades and get the cards that you really want. Also, if you'd like to connect with me and other Pokemon card collectors and enthusiasts, feel free to join our Discord community down below in the description. The trading game, understanding the basics. Remember when you were a kid and trading cards on the playground was as simple as I like yours, you like mine, let's swap? Well, trading as an adult collector is a bit more strategic, but don't worry, it's still just as fun. Trading Pokemon cards is like playing a game within a game. Instead of battling with your cards, you're negotiating, strategizing, and building relationships with other collectors. And just like in a Pokemon battle, having the right strategy makes all the difference. Before we dive into specific trading methods, let's talk about why trading is so powerful for collectors. First, you can acquire cards you want without spending more money. Second, it's a great way to offload duplicates that are just sitting in your collection. Third, you can meet other collectors and build connections in the community. With smart trading, you can actually increase the value of your collection over time as well. I remember when I first started trading seriously, I had a binder full of duplicate cards that were just collecting dust. And after my first trade night at a local card shop, I came home with 5 new cards that I actually wanted for my collection. And these are cards I would have spent at least $50 to buy outright. That's when I realized the true power of trading. But to trade effectively, you need to understand how value works in the trading world. Let's explore the different ways people approach Pokemon trading value. The 4 trading methods, different ways to exchange value. When it comes to trading Pokemon cards, there isn't just one way to do it. In fact, I've identified 4 main trading methods that collectors use, each one with its own advantages depending on your situation and your goals. These are trading methods that I've used personally as well. Method 1, the equal value trade or dollar for dollar. This is the most straightforward approach to trading. You trade cards of equal market value, 100% for 100%. For example, if you have a Charizard VMAX worth $100 in market value, you might trade it for a Pikachu VMAX worth $100, 10 cards worth $10 each, or any combination of cards that adds up to $100. This method is perfect for beginners because it's simple and it's fair. Both traders walk away feeling that they got exactly what they paid for. I use this method most often when trading with people that I've just met, as it builds trust and establishes a foundation for future trades. The key to successful equal value trades is knowing the current market value of your cards. I always check recent sold listings on TCG Player or eBay to make sure I'm working with accurate value. Method 2, the percentage discount trade, the negotiator's approach. This is where trading gets a bit more interesting. Instead of trading at 100% market value, you negotiate to trade at a percentage of market value, maybe 80 to 90%. Here's how it works in practice. Let's say your friend has a card worth $100 at market value. You want to trade for it using multiple $10 cards, but you only have 8 cards that they're interested in, totaling $80 in value. In a strict equal value trade, you'd need to add $20 cash to make up the difference. But with a percentage discount trade, you might ask, would you be willing to value your card at 90% of market? That would make it $90, so then you'd only need to add $10 of cash instead of $20. Reread or rewatch this part of the video until it makes sense. This approach has saved me money numerous times, especially when trading multiple lower value cards for one higher value card. It's particularly effective when the other person really wants your cards or when they're looking to consolidate their collection into fewer, more valuable cards. Method 3, the partial trade, cards plus cash. This hybrid approach is kind of like what I talked about before, but it combines trading cards with adding cash to balance the value. It's one of the most common methods I use because it offers flexibility for both parties. Here's how a partial trade works. If you have a $100 card and someone wants to offer a 30% partial trade, they'll give you $30 worth of cards plus $70 in cash. This method is perfect when 1. You want some new cards but also need cash. 2, the other person doesn't have enough cards you want to equal the full value, or 3, the person doesn't have enough cash you want to equal the full value. Just last month, I received cash and Tyranitar cards for a Vaporeon VMAX card. This gave me new cards for my collection, plus money to spend on other cards I needed. Method 4, I'm not interested, but sure, trade. This method is for more advanced traders, but it's where the real magic happens. In a value up trade, you trade cards at different percentage values to increase the total value of what you receive. For example, you have a card worth $100. You agree to trade it at 80%. In return, you receive cards worth $125 at market value. In this scenario, you traded your $100 card for $125 worth of cards, and $100 divided by $125 is $80. Now you might be wondering, why would someone agree to this? Often because they really want your specific card, or because you're taking cards they've been struggling to trade or sell. It's also agreeable when someone really wants your card, but you're not that interested in their cards. Therefore, you take more value from them. I've seen vendors at card shows do this frequently. They'll take a stack of harder to move cards in exchange for one highly desirable card. As you become more comfortable with trading, you'll naturally start to recognize opportunities for value up trades. But remember, always be fair and transparent. The goal is for both parties to walk away happy with the trade. Trading up in value, the secret to building an amazing collection. Now that we've covered the basic trading methods, let's talk about the strategy that can truly transform your collection, consistently trading up in value. The concept is simple but powerful. Through a series of strategic trades, you can gradually increase the total value of your collection without spending additional money. This is how many serious collectors build impressive collections without breaking the bank. And here's my personal strategy that's helped me acquire cards that I never thought I'd own. First, buy collections at a discount. Look for people selling their entire collections on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, or local card selling apps. Aim to purchase at 75% or less of market value, and I have a whole video on this strategy called How I Buy Rare Cards Worth Hundreds of Dollars if you want to check it out after this. Break up the collection. Sort the cards by value and condition, identifying which ones you want to keep and which ones you'll use for trading. Trade the cards you don't want at 100% market value, even though you bought them at 70% value. You can trade them at full market value with other collectors. Repeat the process, and as you make more trades, your collection grows in both size and value. For example, I recently bought a collection for $180 that had a market value of about $250. I kept about $80 worth of cards for my personal collection and traded the remaining $170 worth of cards for cards valued at $170 that I actually wanted. In essence, I got $250 worth of cards for about $180. That's a $70 gain in value. You can then buy a $130 card at 70% market price or $90. Once you buy that card, you can essentially sell it again at 90 to 100% market price. Now this strategy can definitely be done by anyone. This strategy requires patience and relationship building with other collectors and a lot of communication, but it's incredibly effective. The key is finding good deals on collections and being strategic about which cards you keep versus which ones you trade. Now here are some alternative trading approaches. While value-based trading is the most common approach, there are other ways to trade that focus less on strict market value and more on collection goals or personal preferences. First, you have set completion trading, the collector's exchange. This type of trading is all about helping each other complete sets rather than focusing strictly on dollar value. How it works is that you have two collectors share their set checklists, showing which cards they're missing from their master sets, for example. They trade cards they have for duplicates for cards that they actually need, regardless of value differences. The goal is mutual set completion rather than profit. I've seen collectors trade a special illustration rare worth about $5 for a reverse holo foil worth only about 50 cents. That's about like the spectrum or magnitude I've seen differences in value trading, but that's because simply that person was looking for that reverse holo and that's what they needed to complete their master set. And in this case, the joy of completion was worth more to them than the $4.50 difference in value. This approach works best when you find someone collecting the same sets as you, but with different duplicates. Local card shops often have a trade trade night specifically for this type of trading. Next, we have condition advantage trading. This strategy involves trading near mint cards for played cards of a lower condition type, and this is a great way to get cards you want without paying premium prices. The truth is, not everyone cares about perfect card condition. Some collectors just want the artwork and don't mind if there's slight whitening on the edge or a tiny scratch on the holographic area. I recently received a lightly played Darkrai and Umbreon Tag Team GX and Espeon and Deoxys Tag Team GX in trades. To the casual observer, they look nearly perfect, but because they're technically lightly played, I was able to trade for them at 70% of their near mint value. Now ask yourself, do you really need every card in your collection to be in perfect condition? For cards you're just enjoying in your binder and not planning to grade or resell, a lightly played version might be perfectly fine and much more affordable through trading. No matter which trading method you use, there are some universal rules that will help ensure you have positive experiences and avoid getting ripped off. Rule number 1, always disclose card condition honestly. Nothing ruins a trading relationship faster than misrepresenting your cards. Always be upfront about it. Any whitening edges, any scratches on the holographic areas, are there any centering issues, are there any creases or bends, no matter how small. I always bring this to the attention whenever I'm trading cards, and I also let the buyer or trader actually examine the cards as well. Rule number 2, check current market value prices before trading. Prices fluctuate constantly in the Pokemon card market. For example, my Mewtwo V-Star card, which I bought a month ago, which was valued at $125, is now valued today at around like $99. Always check current values before making trade. My go-to resources are TCG Player for current market prices and eBay sold listings to see what cards actually sold for and not just asking prices. You also have price tracking apps like TCG Player or Rare Candy, which you can use as well. Rule number 3, start small and build trust. When trading with someone new, start with smaller value trades before moving on to bigger ones. This helps build trust and establishes a positive trading relationship. I once met a collector at a local card shop who became one of my most trusted trading partners. We started by trading cards worth about $5 each, and now we're regularly trading cards worth about $50 to $100 each because we've built that foundation of trust. Rule number 4, use card sleeves during trading. Always bring penny sleeves and top loaders to protect cards during the process. This prevents accidental damage and shows that you respect both your cards and your trading partner's cards. I once traded with a collector who actually just brought the raw cards themselves with no sleeves, but luckily I had my own penny sleeves to actually put the cards in, and also my own top loaders as well. Rule number 5, be willing to walk away. Not every trade will work out, and that's perfectly okay. If something doesn't feel right or you can't reach an agreement that makes you happy, it's perfectly fine to politely decline and just walk away. Now, where do you actually find trading partners? Now that you know how to trade effectively, where do you actually find these people? Here are my favorite places to connect with other collectors. First, you have local card shops, and this means just casually shopping at your local card shop and running into people who are also casually shopping as well. These are gold mines for building your trading network. Next, you have Pokemon tournaments and events, which are usually hosted at local card shops as well, but these events can also attract serious collectors who you might want to befriend as well. Then you have Facebook groups, so you can join local Facebook trading groups in your area, and these are great for arranging meetups with other collectors who are part of that Facebook group as well. Now, I've seen Pokemon communities have active Discord servers, and if you want to join my Discord server where you can connect with other like-minded enthusiasts, feel free to join down below in the description as well. You also have Reddit communities where subreddits like r/Pokemon TCG trades are dedicated to Pokemon card trading or selling. Then you have OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace, where again, this is a local shopping community where if people are usually selling cards, there's a case or a chance that they actually might be willing to trade for cards as well. Remember that the best trading partners are often the ones you build relationships with over time. I have about 4 regular trading partners now that I message whenever I get new cards, and they practically do the same for me. We've all helped each other actually add some really nice cards to our collections throughout the past couple weeks through fair and consistent trading. Now, as we wrap up this guide, I want to emphasize that trading Pokemon cards is about more than just the cards themselves. It's really about the connections you make and the community that you start to form. Some of my closest trade partners have come from the tactics that I mentioned in this video. There's something special about meeting someone who shares the same Pokemon collecting goals as you, negotiating a trade that makes you both happy, and watching each of your collections grow over time. Just the other day, one of my trading partners hit me up to let me know that they had Journey Together sleeved booster packs at a restock at Target. Just one of the perks that you may acquire as you build more relationships with people, where your trade partners will actually let you know when restocks happen. Now that you know the ins and outs of trading Pokemon cards, you're ready to start building your collection through smart trades. Remember to always be fair, honest, and respectful in your trading interactions. And don't be afraid to start small as you build your confidence. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to check out my other video on how I buy rare cards worth hundreds of dollars for more strategies to grow your collection without breaking the bank next.